here with Barrister Udechukwu Ono, the head of Legal International Human Rights Commission. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, a lot of people watching, they are not familiar with a lot of things that individuals that are living with that are autistic, what they face, even their families. And that autism is a complex spectrum. That means they face a lot of diverse challenges. So for
a neurodevelopmental condition.
Okay.
And autistic. Okay, we have level. That's where we have what we call Asperger disorder.
Autistic in nature, he or she can spontaneously just make his or her sentence, but that of the autistic child is difficult for he or she has to coordinate. That of the autistic child is difficult for he or she has to coordinate first, think, process it, and then be able to give feedback.
Okay.
Okay. I think let me just make an addition to what he has said.
Okay.
Mostly, you cannot know an autistic child from the womb.
Okay.
Okay. And like we have said before, majorly it's hereditary, it's genetical, and then it's environmental, like air pollution. But from age 6 months, majorly diagnosis of autistic children are from 2 years.
Okay.
Okay. But then from age 6 months, you can tell from, like he has said, the behavior of the child, the processing of the child. Those type of children stay longer before they talk.
Okay. I wanted
Their
to add
speech
that
are not much.
Yes.
Because their processing is not.
So the growth.
You understand? So the developmental the process is very slow. And that's why you have to be more patient with them. And usually when you see these autistic people, they are very emotional because they feel you are not understanding them. There's something that they want to pass, but this is just their world. It's just like somebody that has dyslexia. Like I said before, if you have dyslexia, you can't see something, you are seeing something at the opposite because the brain is just like upside down. So what you are seeing as classroom, he is seeing it at the other side.
Wow.
And then you are beating him that can't you see well, and he's saying it's not my fault.
Wow.
Okay.
We will talk about, I know education is key to empowering an autistic individual, and we want to look at the strategies, how we'll be able to, successful strategy. We've been discussing autism, and that today is World Autism Awareness Day. So, and we have this gentleman talking to us about autism. Please don't go anywhere. Let's go on this break. And when we come back, we still have more for you. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned. The discussion is still. So before we went on that break, we want to look at the education. The education is key to empowering these individuals. So what are those successful strategies that you feel that schools, government, community, individuals, families can put in place for them to make sure they have the desired education?
Okay, if looking at education, like you have rightly said, many of these autistic children, especially in Nigeria, they find it hard to find a space because when you have a school, personally, I go to students in the class, and you want to just run to finish the course. There is no how an autistic child can adapt. And you will discover that eventually they are not going along, they are not flowing along. And before you know it, they are developing anxiety disorder. They are developing depression. Now, a case of, I read on about 3 days ago, Damilola Bamiloye came on here to talk about how he was not able to cope in class. No matter what they teach, he couldn't just